let's have a numbers-based discussion about what is happening locally right here in Anchorage and the Matsu Valley about real estate that is all numbers-based and removes fear from the equation. By the end of this video, you're going to have a pretty good feel on what is happening right now as far as real estate goes in the area. Keep in mind that this is what is happening right now. It's not predicting what is going to happen in the future, but it's going to give you a great perspective on where we are at for the moment. Before we get started though, make sure that you give this video a like, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and make sure you hit the little bell as well, just to make sure that you receive any notifications about future videos like this that's going to keep you informed in the future as we move through the coronavirus pandemic. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. I'll go ahead and describe how the state is doing in each one of these categories. We'll discuss how Anchorage is doing and how the Matsu Valley is doing. Number one, inventory is down. It is definitely down. Alaska as a whole is down 26% from what it typically is this time of year. From March 16th to the present time, we're down 26%. Now in each one of the markets, it's going to be a little bit different, obviously. Before we hit the dip in the quarter, we were down by about 10%, but that obviously jumped up to 26%. At Anchorage, we are actually down 22% in the inventory. For instance, this time last year, we had 972 homes on the market. This year, we have 751 as of a couple days ago. In Wasilla, it is actually down 29%. Okay, so they're actually seeing a larger drop in inventory. So what this means is there are just fewer houses that are options out there. What about the homes that are actually selling? Well, as a whole in Alaska, for the time period that we are looking at from March 16th up to the present time, we're actually seeing that we have an increase in the number of homes that have sold. Overall, we're seeing that 1% increase. And obviously looking at places like Anchorage, we're seeing that some areas are seeing an enormous amount of increase in the number of homes sold. For instance, in Eagle River, the homes sold actually went up 91% from this time last year. That being said though, we're also seeing some drops in properties and areas sold around Anchorage. The biggest are in areas where not a whole lot was moving anyway. If you only have 2 homes sell in an area and you only get 1 house sell this year, it's going to be down 50%. So, but yeah, as a whole though, we're actually seeing more. So that's good. And Wasilla, as a whole, we're actually seeing there's also an uptick in the number of homes being sold. To be more precise, it is up 16% to be exact. So Anchorage was up, really all over the place on average. I think it was about 30% it was up. Wasilla is up about 16%. So from the previous quarter up to this point, Wasilla was up about 6%. And then, after that, the March 16th forward, up 16%. So you see a noticeable increase in that. Houses are spending way less time on the market now than they were before as well. As a whole in Alaska, actually we are seeing that the average was about 225 days this time last year. This year it's 141. So that is a 37% drop in the number of days on market. So properties are moving quickly, even though we do have the pandemic right now. Now, a lot of that is just that people are motivated. Those that do still need to purchase a home, they're buying homes quickly because, like we said, inventory is low. Okay, so if you're a buyer, you're not going to be playing around. Just get in, find the one that you want, make an offer, get it under contract, and get going. Okay, so how is the rest of, how's the rest of our markets in Anchorage and the Matsu Valley doing? Well, in Anchorage, we're actually, for the days on the market, we're down 59%, which means things are selling a lot faster on average than they did this time last year. Average days on the market in Anchorage right now is about 59, so things, when you're looking as a whole through a market, that's moving pretty quickly. So that's good. Properties are still moving and pending. And over in the Matsu Valley, in Wasilla, it went from about 159 homes, or I'm sorry, 159 days on the market to 83 days on market. And so, as you can see, that's also taken an enormous drop. Okay, now next, we're going to be talking about the average price of homes in the market. Next, we're going to be talking about the price of the homes that are selling right now, and if we're seeing a softening up of the prices. So, let me get to that in just a second, but in the meantime, if this video has been useful for you, make sure that you leave a comment down below with any questions that you have, and make sure that if you have any questions about specific areas, you post those down below as well. Obviously, real estate is hyper-local. Let's have a look at the sales price for the homes that are selling right now. Are people simply offloading them as quickly as they can for the lowest amount and just taking a big hit? That's actually not what we're seeing. The average sales price has actually increased 14% across the state for the time from March 16th up to the present time. So we're not seeing a real softening up of the market prices just yet. We're still looking pretty healthy as of now, so that's great. If we look a little bit closer into Anchorage, it's obviously going to be broken down by the area that you're in, but really what we're seeing is there's about a 6 to 48% increase for the average sales price in those areas. And if you're looking over in the valley, it's a little bit more conservative. It's about around 3%. In the previous quarter up to this time, we were up 9%. So you see a little bit of drawing back on the average sales price. I personally do not like using the sales price as our main indicator on how the market is doing, though, as far as the health on the asking price and making sure prices aren't going down. Because the issue is that you might just have different homes that are on the market at a specific time compared to the year before. If everyone's selling their mansion right now, that's obviously going to make a huge difference in the market. But it is an indication, so I wanted to make sure we included it. Now, the big thing I want to look at is the list to sales ratio. In other words, how much of what people are asking for are they actually getting at closing? Now, a better indicator about how the market is doing as far as the price is to really look at this list to sales ratio. What that is that says this is how much we asked for and this is how much we actually got for it. If you're asking for $100,000 and people keep coming back and you end up only getting $70,000 for it, that's obviously not a good list to sales ratio. That's about 70%. As a whole in Alaska, we're not seeing any kind of a shift just yet as a whole. We're maintaining right around 98% of the list to sales ratio, which is good. It means you pretty much get what you ask for. In Anchorage, it kind of gets broken down by which specific area that you're in, but as a whole, it is staying consistent. Some areas saw an uptick of about 1 to 2%. A couple of them saw a downtick from 1 to 2, but that variation from year to year is to be expected. Now, over for the valley, we actually did see an increase overall from 99% listed sales ratio to 100% listed sales ratio. So you better believe people out in the valley are not playing around, and they just want to get a home, get it under contract, and move on from there. In conclusion, we have less houses on the market right now. There's lower inventory. There are fewer days on the market, and we see no sign of softening up of market prices for homes just yet. What I do want to leave you with is just with the insights that markets go up and markets come down. It's really not anything to be concerned about, though, because real estate is a long-term endeavor. Obviously, we want to keep our eyes on what's going on and making sure we are aware of everything that's happening. But what I would say is don't focus on the temporary market that we're in. Okay? Let's keep our eyes on what's going to be the long-term goal before you decide to do something or not to do something. Make sure that you consult with a real estate professional like myself. I'd be more than happy to kind of explain the specifics for how this market is going to impact you. So, if this has been useful, make sure that you give this video a like, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and As always, if you have any questions or concerns, don't be shy about reaching out to me, and I'd be happy to help as best I can.